Damn it! Figured the whole thing out and I still fell into their dumb trap. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me from this void place? Where is this? Look, I don't know how this works, okay?
Well. We're finally back together. Such a pleasant reunion, isn't it?
Not exactly pleasant, but I was right then. You are Ben. Like the same Ben that trapped me when I played Kersploosh that one time.
Yes, you have that right.
Well, you look way different. Why is that?
Oh, that's just because you sucked at video back then. Anyway, how do you like this place? I took the liberty of tidying it up while you were being transported.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, it looks nice, but why are you in my room anyway? What do you want with me anyway?
Well, I knew you were in possession of this little thingy, so I figured, hey, might as well check to see if you'd happen upon anything else of use here, but turns out no. And I really didn't have anything else to do while I waited for your transportation, so I just decided to clean up here a bit.
Huh? Wait, how long did it take you to transport me?
About 3 months.
3 months? What? Why?
I'm sorry, magic is tiring, so I took my sweet time.
Really?
Hey, that's the reason we have used to explain your terrible continuity and upload schedule, so don't blame this on me.
That would explain why my hair and clothes are different.
Plus, it gave me an opportunity to try to figure out how to use this. Whoops.
Oh my gosh, this is so stupid. So what do you want with me anyway? What's this all about?
Well, our last encounter kind of didn't leave me doing so well. But I still need you, so over the course of the last year or so, someone, before his unfortunate and really stupid death, was helping me plot ways to trap you again. And it finally worked.
Wait, so those weird boxes, those were from you? Also, that didn't answer my question at all?
Look, I don't have time for this. I have a game for you to play.
No time, but you just spent 3 months doing virtually nothing. Whatever. A game? You think a game's gonna intimidate me? You want me to play this? That's no big deal. It's a dumb Nintendo game. Why would that be hard?
We'll see about that. Now get to work. I'm interested in watching you play.
No! No! I won't do it. Why should I go along with your dumb plan anyway?
Because you're trapped, and if you don't, you'll never escape.
That doesn't mean I have to listen to you. I can wait you out. You can't just sit here forever.
Actually, the best thing about this time is that I can. If you don't want to play, I can go do other stuff. I've things to do. You can't exactly escape, so you might as well play. If it's a waiting game you want, I have all the time in the world.
You spent 3 months cleaning my room. You have nothing to do. And why do you want this anyway? This is madness. What do you want with me anyway? You can't do this.
I can and am. As for why, I don't need to concern myself with your question, so I don't see any point in answering. Now, if you will cooperate, then I'll leave you to your boredom, but honestly, I do think it's in your best interest to do what I want.
Fine. I'll play. But only if you promise to tell me exactly why you need me. I know you have to have some stake in me, otherwise why'd go through all this trouble. So maybe it's in your best interest to cooperate with me.
Fine. You have a deal. Start the video and throughout, I'll tell you what's been going on.
Deal. Here we go. This is Paper Mario Color Splash. Color Splash was announced during a Nintendo Direct in 2016 to less than stellar reception. Having been let down by the previous entry of the franchise, Sticker Star, fans were disappointed to see that the franchise was continuing to go in the direction that the 3DS game had created, rather than going back to the design of the older, more acclaimed games. To make matters worse, in an interview at E3 later that year, the assistant producer of the game, Risa Tapata, basically confirmed that the development team behind Paper Mario didn't really have any plans at all to go back to the old design. There's some contempt for this game in Sticker Star among Paper Mario fans, of which I am one, because they sort of represent the essential death of a beloved franchise as we knew it. Despite that, I'm willing to give Color Splash a fair chance. I mean, who knows? It could be good. I'm always willing to be pleasantly surprised by games. Also, partly because I'm being forced to play it. I'm interested, if not entirely hopeful, for what Color Splash is going to be. I played and was extremely disappointed by Sticker Star when it came out, and Color Splash does look very much like a Sticky Stairs sequel with the battle system, environments, characters, and more simplified story layout all very much taken straight from that game. But part of me is a little curious to see how much they improved from that game to this one. For one, the paper aesthetic looks amazing in HD, which just makes me want a 1000-year door Switch port more, but whatever. The environments themselves are more varied and interesting overall, and some of the mechanics in and of themselves look pretty cool, or at least improved from SS. The story begins when Peach, Mario, and nameless generic Toad, get used to that, we're going to be seeing it a lot, receive another Toad in the mail that's been drained of his color. They decide to go and investigate the location where the Toad was mailed from, and so they embark towards Prism Island. There, they discover that the island's fountain, which usually contains 7 big paint stars that supply all the colors of paint to the island, has been ransacked, the stars stolen, and Shy Guys with straws running amok. With the help of some sort of guardian paint can named Huey, it's up to Mario to go through the world, gather up the paint stars, and save Princess Peach from Bowser. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention earlier, but the most predictable thing in Mario history ever happens. Didn't see that one coming. Well, that's the beginning, so why don't you tell me what's been happening since Kersploosh?
Fair enough. I don't know what it was, but you had power enough to defeat me. I'm not 100% sure how. All I remember afterward is I was waking up, weak, and barely able to use magic. Can't remember anything. Only that you were the source of my weakness.
Wait, so you don't remember anything before that?
No.
So then he doesn't remember that he wanted to know. Then what?
No more questions! I knew I had to get back to you somehow. And that's where someone came along. I asked him to help me find out more about you.
Wait, sorry for interrupting, but, why is he called someone, by the way?
Quite honestly, I don't know. I tried to ask him about it, but he got all defensive and started rambling something about the Israel-Palestine Liberation War, so I just left it at that point. Well, enough of that. Back to the game.
Okay.
Well, you know, a little bit ago when I was talking about optimism for this game, you should probably just download this video, isolate that specific part, print out every frame of video, and proceed to throw all that paper out the window, because that was misguided! Honestly, I don't even know why I give anything the benefit of the doubt anymore. My biggest fear was that the gameplay looked too similar to Adhesive Decoration Red Giant, and oh, mamacita el tacto del diablo es mi amor, was I right? What did I just say? There is some improvement, but a lot of it is marginal, and a lot of things just straight up don't improve.
And with that, I thought we'd play a game.
Ooh, yay! I love games!
This game is called... Wait, a second.
Do you need some... Do we really need a whiteboard? You could just... I'm saying you can say it out loud.
This game is called, did that feature improve or was it just as bad as it was in Decal Pulsar? Also, how much did it change? Featuring more about Ben's journey through the season up to this point. Title's a work in progress. The rules are as follows. I'll give you a mechanic and you'll have to tell me whether or not that feature improved in Color Splash and by how much. If you get one wrong, then you'll have to tell me something about your past, okay?
Yep-a-roo.
First question. Environmental gameplay. Did it improve?
Let's go with yes, and by a fair amount.
You're correct, it did!
Before I go off the deep end, we might as well talk about some positives for this game in the interest of objectivity. Like I said before, the gameplay environment's so much more interesting overall than the ones in Branch of a Tree or Celestial Body. And the gameplay relating to the overall world, meaning the stuff outside of combat and whatnot, is actually pretty cool. It's pretty relaxing to walk through colorful set pieces, listening to the honestly amazing soundtrack, and looking through the nooks and crannies to see what you might find. It's not super deep gameplay, but it's very pleasant, much like one of those minimalist exploration games like Journey. I think whoever was responsible for the level design really went all out with this game. There are actually some mechanics put into the world that make levels interesting, add an extra layer of fun. For example, there's alternate mirror dimensions, the escorting of a train to its final destination, a jail escape sequence, and a pretty cool Mario Bros. 3 style level. These parts are all enjoyable and an improvement, but there is a downside to this. Many times throughout the game, you'll randomly get thrown into a sort of action sequence where you have to dodge or run away from a set piece. Most of the time, it's hard to anticipate or figure out what you need to do in a time, so you die, which boots you out of the game and makes you come back and try from the last save point, which can be incredibly tedious because from the 5 seconds you have before you die, it's hard to figure out a game plan for the rest of it, which can lead to lots of extra dumb deaths. Thankfully, there's not too many of these, but when they do show up, they're not really welcome.
Question number 2. Progression system. Did it improve?
Let's go with yes, but only marginally.
You're correct! Damn, I didn't think you were gonna get these that easily.
Yeah, one of the major complaints of glue on the back of an image space dot was the fact that there was no leveling system. There wasn't anything to be gained from battling like experience, and battles just wasted stickers, so it was best to avoid them 99% of the time. Color Splash technically fixes that problem. You now gain hammer pieces from battles, which make your hammer able to hold more paint, which is necessary because it allows you to clear more locales, as well as make your attacks better in battle when used. But that's it. It's not really a rewarding system, so you don't get to increase anything else, so battling still feels pointless for all the other reasons. The system is less of an incentive to battle and make yourself stronger than it is just forcing you to battle in order to be able to play the rest of the game.
Speaking of which, the battle system. Did it improve?
I think, I'm gonna go with yes, a little bit.
That is Absolutely incorrect! It's completely abysmal, maybe even worse, I don't know! It's freaking terrible!
You okay?
I don't think so!
The battle system is just as bad, if not possibly worse than ever before. If you haven't played either of the last two Paper Mario games, basically the battle system is a sort of simplified version of the older action command turn-based system of the first two Paper Marios. The weirdest thing about this system is that it's based on a gimmick of using stickers, or cards in this one, because I guess they decided for the sequel they didn't even need to have a dumb theming reason to keep the stupid battle system. Every turn, you choose a few actions based on the cards you have. You can then use your paint to add color to them, which makes them more powerful. Then, you have to flip them up to the top screen. No, that part is not optional. You have to do it every single time, and 100% does not get tedious at all. Why would you not want to do? Why would you not want to do? Why would you not want to do it? Battling is just sort of boring now. No, it's not even that. It's really frustrating instead of fun, because instead of relying on a set list of your basic moves and attacks, you're relying on an ever-changing bag of bodged together knickknacks that you have to rummage through, hoping to find something that just might be right to hurt your enemy somehow, like a thumbtack taped to an ace of spades, or the sharp part of a tape dispenser glued to a marble shot out of two pens shaped together and a rubber band to make a slingshot. I might have lost the metaphor a bit there, but whatever. Whoever came up with the idea of making your attacks a spendable commodity was very innovative, actually. But it's still a terrible idea. Now, instead of just having fun while battling, I'm worrying about micromanaging the amount of times I'm allowed to jump in battle, because apparently that's a good design that totally makes sense. It's not like Mario can just jump whenever he wants for however long he wants outside of battle. No, everything lines up here, and it's a really good idea. That works well, and it's very fun. Thanks for asking. Actually, now that I think about it, the progression system might be a negative too, because at least in Placard of the Heavens, you could avoid battles with no repercussions, but in this game, you have to battle in order to efficiently beat the game, because you need a larger paint hammer. Heck!
Are you done?
Yeah, I think I am. Oh wait, you got one wrong, so that means you have to tell me something about your past.
Okay, that's fair. After I found someone, he found some information about you. He figured that the reason you were able to beat me was because of your willpower, and if we could somehow break your will, I'd gain back my strength. That's when we started sending the games.
The box games, those were you! So how did you know which games to send?
Honestly, I don't know. Someone ran through dozens of possible games, but only a few of them stood out to me for reasons I don't really know. But they didn't work. You were so close to breaking, but you stayed strong. You wondered how, but then...
You saw the sword, right?
Yes. And it awakened something in me. I still don't know what. Can't remember. But I know its power.
How would you know? So that's why you decided to steal it, right?
Yes.
So... you have it now. Good for you. What do you still want with me?
I need you to finish the game.
Why?
I don't... Just because.
I don't want to.
Just do it! I need you to break!
Why?
Shut up and play the damn game!
Why do you want me to suffer so much?
What? Why do you care?
Why do you care? Do you know what it's like? When despite everything you feel, you know you're wrong?
Yes, actually. I think I know what you're on about the game. And I think, despite your complaints, that might be exactly what I want.
I'll finish it, okay? Look, I don't know who you are or how you know me so much, but... well... I don't really have much of a choice here, do I?
No.
After going through all of the story, Mario and company, or I guess just Mario and Huey, because haha, no partners in this game, figure out what's going on. Apparently, there's literally no evil force behind the scenes. It was all just an innocent mistake. Bowser thought that jumping into the paint fountain would make his shell look really cool, but in his gay pride-motivated actions, he didn't think about the fact that if he mixes up the colors, he'll get black, which, as we all know, is the absolute most emo color there is, so of course it turns Bowser into his worst form yet. Edgy AF Bowser. So then he steals the paint and Peach because he wants to make the whole world black for some reason. If I have to admit it, I think the writing in this game is actually really good for the most part. It's very self-referential, and a lot of the comedies derive from trying to subvert the tropes of Mario lore and of the more serious games, which is honestly a lot better than the serious business RPG game look that mucilaginous decorative ex libris space hydrogen helium carbon and other trace elements obeying F sub g equals g times m sub 1 times m sub 2 over r squared so awfully thought it could pull off as well as Thousand Year Door or one of the earlier Mario and Luigi games. It's almost a parody of itself. But then you look at the rest of the game, and it starts to feel like different teams on this project had very different ideas on whether or not Estrella de Pegatina was actually any good, and whether or not they should just Control-C, Control-V that crap. After all the stars are reunited, Mario and Luigi, for somehow, Mario Kart up their own gay pride symbol to Bowser's Castle, which is honestly just a culmination of the worst parts of this game. It takes the battle gimmicks to extremely stupid points. The unfair environmental challenges are back and better than ever, and generally it's just trial and error until you get to the end. Despite all of that, for some reason, the final fight with Bowser is the least bad fight in the game. Other than me running out of cards and having to grind for a solid hour to buy more because tax or spendable commodities is genius, I didn't have any problems with him. For some reason, there's a bunch of literal, real-world objects in this game that you can turn into super powerful cards in battle or just to solve puzzles. I don't really know why, but most of the bosses required you to have at least one of these random stupid objects to beat them, which really isn't intuitive and just sort of forces you to seek out another objective before the final level for no reason. This boss fight doesn't have that for some reason. So you eventually snap Bowser out of his black tar heroin-induced drug rage, and despite none of this actually being his fault, still leave him here to die. Then, to stop the whole castle from exploding and blasting black paint everywhere, Huey sacrifices himself to save the whole world. Oh, gosh, he actually just died. Holy crap. Oh, no. Hey! Wait a minute, game. What are you trying to pull here with this emotional ending bullcrap? You did not earn that. Bad game. Back to your corner. Bad.
And that's Color Splash. I'm finally done. This game is a dumpster fire, and I'm glad it's over.
I can't believe they were so blindsided to the fact that... Okay, screw it. I can't think of any more bullcrap synonyms. I can't believe they were so blindsided to the fact that Sticker Star is frustrating and not fun. To think that anyone would prefer this surface-level crap to the grand adventures and meaningful gameplay of the previous games is astonishing and saddening. The sad part is, it looks like there might never be a true Paper Mario game again.
I'm done. Why did you want that?
Because I know that this means something to you.
You're right. It does. I don't know how you know that, but you're right.
I'm so close to breaking you.
I still don't understand why you care about me. I beat this stupid game. Can you leave me alone now?
No. There's something about this. There's something even deeper that you hate about this game.
So? What does it matter that I hate it?
Because there's more there. There's a reason that this game affects you more than normal. Something to do with your past.
And who cares? It's a stupid game and it's not fun. Why would it matter more to me?
Then why are you yelling?
That's not the point.
This game took something from you, didn't it?
Shut up!
Something you're ashamed of. Because you think it's stupid.
You don't know anything!
Because why should you care
Stop!
about the legacy of a stupid little GameCube game?
I'll admit it! You manipulative little troglodyte, okay? That's what you wanted, right? For me to admit that this game doesn't suck? And that I hate that. I hate that this game that solidifies the death of something that I love so much has the audacity to be decent. And I hate that that's not a justifiable hatred. I want to shred this game to pieces, to throw it off to the side in shambles, but I can't because it doesn't suck. Do you know what it's like to have something you love so much just discarded, ruined, and you can't even justifiably be angry? I hate this game. Not because it's overly terrible, because it's not, but because it took something from me. It took my right to care. It took my emotional connection to my favorite game of all time and shredded it, threw it off to the side, because nobody could bother to care about failing or depth or any sort of anything about the legacy. And I'm mostly mad because I know that it's stupid. And I'm stupid for caring. This game is my ultimate torment. Because all it is an endless loop of frustration and sadness over lost potential and this sinking feeling that I'll never experience anything even close to my nostalgia ever again. This game makes me hate myself. It makes me hate why I even fell in love with games in the first place. It makes me hate the legacy of my favorite game of all time. And it's your fault that I had to relive all this. And you did it because you knew all of that!
Yes. I knew.
I hate you. This is it. I hope it was worth it for you.
Actually, it was. I think I got Exactly what I wanted.
Die already!
Something that you could avoid long enough. It's a curse that you hold. You knew that the time would come up. What's the point of it all? Or should you see the future? Feel the emotions or the lack of them, it makes you wanna shout. The clock's counting down to my decision. Is there a clean way out? It's the end of an era. It's the end of an era. It's the end of an era. Or maybe it's the beginning of something new. You knew either way it's a mess that you can't figure out. So much for those clear answers. If you saw the future, what would be different? Would it be something worthwhile? All those feelings you can't seem to focus can't show you where to go. It's the end of an era. It's the end of an era. It's the end of an era. Or maybe it's the beginning of something new. Something new. It's the end of an era. 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 Or maybe it's the beginning